Welcome to the Friday Football Roundtable, sponsored by Coors Light. Well, one of these kids made all the right picks while the other was totally off. So just to give Derek a break and give him some time to actually think about who he thinks will be taking the Super Bowl rather, we are gonna break down the Patriots this week and then we'll hit up the Giants next week. While it wasn't the easiest of battles, the Pats were able to get past the Ravens and the tenacious D. Now, for folks watching the AFC Championship game, there was one storyline that stuck out: Rob Gronkowski and that injured left ankle. Gronkowski, who set an NFL record for the tight ends with 17 touchdown catches this season, limped off the field in the third quarter of Sunday's 23-20 win over Baltimore in the AFC Championship game, but returned about 5 minutes later. On Monday, he was seen wearing a removable boot on his left foot. Derek, do you think he'll be 100% by Super Bowl Sunday?
Well, Nataf, I don't know if Big Gronk is going to be 100%, but I know he's going to play definitely. He's going to be all amped up. That adrenaline is going to be flowing. There's no doubt in my mind he's going to play in the Super Bowl, and I think he's going to have a big impact. They won't be able to focus on him as the #1 target because of Aaron Hernandez, who has exploded into a running back, a tight end, receiver, everything that you want to call him. So I think it's going to take a little bit of that pressure off of him. Let's not forget they're going to have to pay some attention to Wes Welker. So I think Gronkowski is going to definitely factor into that equation, and he's going to be a big part of it.
All right, so this year the Pats and the Giants faced off in Week 9. The Giants won that matchup 24-20, ending New England's 20-game regular season home winning streak. And if you know the mind of their fearless leader, Bill Belichick, you know that that tape is on constant replay up there in New England. Both quarterbacks are effective against a blitz. In Week 9, both of Manning's touchdowns came against at least 6 rushers. This season, defenses sent out extra pressure at Manning more often than any other quarterback, and he excelled. His 18 touchdowns against 5 or more rushers led the league. As for Brady, no quarterback posted a better TD-INT differential than his plus 15 against extra rushers. Pressuring them is important, but both offensive lines ranked in the top 8 in sack percentage. Who's better quarterback in your opinion, Derek?
Nataf, I think this is a trick question. I mean, there's no doubt. Eli Manning is a great quarterback. Take nothing against him. I think he's grown tremendously this year, but we've got to go with Tom Brady. I like to call him the Terminator. I don't think he's human. I think he's got a little robot in there. He's definitely the best, and he has a way of dissecting defenses on the field. I think the Ravens threw everything but the kitchen sink at him last week, and he was able to kind of overcome it, get a rushing TD, although he had no passing TDs and 2 interceptions last week. I think he's going to bounce back. I think he's going to come back. He's got an extra week to prepare. Let's not forget he's got Bill Belichick and that guy Josh McDaniels out there working for him, and I think they're going to be able to come up with an extraordinary offensive game plan. Hence, I'm picking that guy Tom Brady as the best quarterback in this game.
All right, so wait, are you saying now that the Patriots is your favorite in the Super Bowl?
I'm going to hold that one close to my chest. I still got a little bit more thinking to do about that. Won't let it out yet.
Think well, young Padawan. 3, 2, 1. On the defensive side, 24 players have started at least one game on the defense for the Patriots this season. 9 of them defensive backs, including wide receiver Matthew Slater for 3 games at safety. In both playoff games, New England started the same 11 players on the defensive side. Patriots coach Bill Belichick said the continuity has allowed the work ethic, desire, and competitiveness demonstrated all season by New England's defenders to produce better results. The D had some big moments in the AFC Championship game, and even Big Tom said they secured the win for the AFC title. I think this D has been performing well enough to get Belichick back his defensive genius status. Now, whether it gets New England the championship or not still remains to be seen, of course. Derek, what are your thoughts?
Well, Nataf, I think you touched on something that's very important. I think the fact that they started the same 11 guys in the last 2 playoff games has allowed them to gain that continuity and that confidence in themselves and in the defensive game plan. I think Bill Belichick is starting to feel comfortable with these same guys. They're starting to trust in the defensive scheme that they go out there and they execute. I think they trust one another, which is very important on defense. You've got to trust the guy next to you. I think they're growing up at the perfect time. I'm going to call special attention to a guy, Julian Edelman, one of those guys that you talked about, a receiver converted to a nickelback, comes in there, makes some big plays. It's always around the ball. I think their linebacking core has grown up and has shown shown that they are ready for the challenge. Now, whether they're as good or even better than that Giants defense remains to be seen. But I think they've made New England a more complete team going into the biggest game of most of their lives, going into the Super Bowl. I think they're ready to rise to the occasion. I think they're ready to step up to the challenge. Now let's see them do it. Let's see them execute. Let's see them make it all the way.
All right, so there you have it. That's the Patriots side of our NFL Roundup. Tune in next Friday for the Giants dissection and, of course, our picks. And like I said, we'll see who comes out on top of this season. Of course, this has been your Friday Football Roundtable, sponsored by Coors Light.
It's the Coors Light Win the Ultimate Fan Cave contest. All you have to do is scratch and win at Caribbean Saloon, Shipwreck, Fat Turtle, Sith, and Fort Christian Brew Pub. Spell touchdown, then enter to win the grand prize.